just died. Times were rough. It is far from a comfortable affair being dragged back from the void and rewombed. Everything's just grey and damp. And we're watched by those nasty black spires of Castle Ravenloft. It feels like he is breathing down your neck the whole time. Oh well. 6 souls we stood in the mists of Ravenloft. Before us lay a valley spawned from sorrow. The Valley of Barovia. We poked around the Durst House. Death House, they call it, and well... cult basement. Dead children in the attic. The works. The house kept whispering about the dark powers, and you could feel it in your bleeding teeth.
He is the ancient. He is the land.
We crash in the Blood on the Vine tavern and meet Ismark and Irina. She's the one with Tatiana's face, and the one Strahd can't let go of. Little Wilfred Moth's there too. Tough little kid, smart. But he is only 9. Oh well. And it's the church. Father Zarovich was praying his voice raw while his son Doru starved down in the crypts as a vampire spawned. We end it. Not kindly, but we end it. At the Burgomaster's funeral, Ismark and Irina's father, remember? The bats gather around us. The mist parted and Strahd just strolls in daytime like it's nothing. Smiles at us and purrs and joins us in prayer for his Burgomaster. We follow the smell of pies to Old Bone Grinder. Flour. Crushed in children's bones. We torch Morgantha in her oven and keep on moving. The megalith gives us this flash of ancient love and war waged in the valley a long time ago. Bloody wankers. Madame Ava flips her tarot cards and lays out the big 3. The Tome of Strahd.
The first path you seek is knowledge. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy.
The Sun Sword.
This path tells of a weapon of vengeance. A sword of sunlight.
And the symbol of Ravenkind.
A powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope for the good-hearted.
Plus some weirdly specific words regarding each of us. I won't repeat them here for the sake of privacy. We rattle into Vallaki, hoping for protection from the devil Strahd's torment of Irina. The Blue Water Inn folks, the Martikovs, turn out to be were-ravens on the side of, good, for once. We stop by Blinsky's Toys and he spreads his arm like a ringmaster.
He's no fun. He's no Blinsky.
The dolls say otherwise, but Morning Lord bless that man. We tangle with Rictavio, who is definitely Van Richten, and watch, very much accountable as the Festival of the Blazing Sun collapses into panic and fire, with Strahd seeking to kidnap Irina in the chaos. However, with great great help from the were-ravens, we were able to escape. Van Richten escorts us to his tower. Oh, thimble shanks and morning bum. That rest was almost astonishing. And then we chased the wine problem. You see, wine in Barovia is hope. It is escape. But the deliveries from the Wizard of Wine suddenly stopped. Turns out the indigenous druids claimed the place back with armies of blights. The audacity. We heard of 3 arcane gemstones. Pine cones of fantastical magnificence. Who planted them in the earth? They say it was as though Mother Earth herself had tended the grounds like it was her garden. The druids had stolen one of them to Yester Hill. A classic example of theft, depending, of course, on whether you ask the settlers who monetized the druids' holy gemstones, or the indigenous whose gods once lived inside of them. Another was last seen in Beres many crop rotations ago. No idea about the last one.
5 of crypts. The druid. An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves where the ancient dead sleep. The ravens can help you find it. Look for the treasure there.
Yester Hill is a storm with a heartbeat. Druids danced around the gulfiest tree, wicked and chanting, giving life to the colossal blight Winter Splinter. Strahd watched from afar until Raphael loosened an arrow at him with his typical level of thoughtfulness. In the chaos, Ismark fell. Baldur's face was half ripped off of him. It looks as dreadful as I feel now. And Irina was swept onto Strahd's nightmare steed. We do grab the term of Strahd, though, as a diary of murder, if you will. Vampire and Tatiana. You should read more up on that in the archive when you have the time. Back at the tower, we lick our wounds and we read. Raphael and I go hiking in the mountains. We clash with the mythical Mad Mage. Lightning cracked the sky and the whole tower crashed down upon me. Oh, blissful death. But, somehow, Ayuana, the last, is reborn from the wreckage. Times were tough again. Meanwhile, Krisminta attunes to the spear she pulled from Winter Splinter's heart and leans into the wild powers of the indigenous. Her shadow somehow split free, and like a mother, she began teaching it independence. Eliard obviously kept on talking to the dead, and well, must say the dead did talk back.
So cold here.
Through whispers and rot, we learned of the name Vampire. The dark power Strahd sold his soul to. The one who's been orchestrating alone for centuries, feeding on souls, on sorrow. Typical god behavior.
Is still ancient.
But rest never lasts long in Barovia. Winter Splinter came upon us, seeking death to the Martikov bloodline for draining the druids' lands. That enormous walking apocalypse tore through Van Richten's camp. His poor tiger leapt headfirst into the thing's maw and died like a damn legend. The rest of us barely crawled out alive.
One of Swords. The Avenger.
We made our way to Argenvostholt next.
The treasure lies in a dragon's house, in the hands once clean, and now corrupted.
Once it was a dragon's mansion, a beacon of hope, the last fortress against Strahd's armies. Now, it's just stone. We met the Revenants, once the Order of the Silver Dragons. The knights were twisted by grief and revenge. Their Capitano, Vladimir Hungor, still clutched his love for Argynvost like a stubborn child. He does not want Strahd destroyed, oh no. He wants him to suffer for what he's done. Forever. But Argynvost's spirit lingers here too. It wants peace. It wants its skull back, but it was stolen and taken to Ravenloft. Bring it home, and the dragon's light might shine again. Leave it, and Barovia stays the way it is. So, naturally, we left it for later. But we brought Vladimir Hungor back with us to the tower in a hog tie. Oh, and we snatched the symbol of Ravenkind from his neck. We headed west through the snows of Tsolenka Pass. The wind screamed like a choir of widows and cut us like stingrays. That's when we lost Raphael. Never saw him after stepping through the gate. Shit, I didn't tell you about Ruxandra, did I? Ah, that is one messed up creature. Long story short, we found a womb on a tree with a slug armadillo growing inside it. What's the phrase? We scientifically poked it with a stick and kept the creature as a pet in a mason jar until it grew too heavy for us to carry. I think it fed on moral wrongdoings. Anyway, she ostensibly awakened into a gigantic beast form, grew wide wings and an eagle's beak. Buggery knows what she's up to now. The path ended at the Amber Temple.
The Seven of Swords. The Hooded One. I see a faceless god. He awaits you at the end of a long and winding road, deep in the mountains.
A tomb of gods, carved by men who thought themselves clever. We have a lot of stuff on this place in the archive. Krysminta's shadow finally turned on her here. Inevitable, I guess. She fought it, all by herself, really. And she walked out without one. We did find the Sun Sword, the very light Strahd fears. Rahadin came with the echoes of screams in his eyes. Devil Strahd's right-hand man. He wanted the Sun Sword. We did not let him have it. And in the depths of the halls we met him, Exit Hunter, Lich and Librarian, the last magus of the Father King's order. He told us of the dark powers.
He is the land.
Ancient gods sealed in amber, bound to consume existence through champions and pacts. Strahd is one. He could have left it there, but he didn't. And right beside Vampyr's cracked amber vault, we struck a dagger into the amber of Zodun, the corpse star, the mightiest of the elder evils. We, or rather, someone, could have left it there. Someone shattered it. For centuries, Vampyr ruled this realm alone, Strahd his eternal meal ticket. But now, Zodun crawls back from the void between worlds. The skies scream with storms. Lightning strikes the roads, and towns are drowned. And still, Castle Ravenloft towers above it all. The mist's close. The storm rises. But our tale, marionettes of fate, is far,
from over.